My name is Semenyaka. I work in RAP NCC, and I'm technical advisor. Unfortunately, I was not able to come to attend the KP3 forum in Bishkek, so I was recorded, and after this record, after video, I can answer your questions. And I dedicated my report to interconnectivity in Central Asia. And this survey has own history. 2 years ago, I made such a survey also, and I presented at COP1. Then I again repeated the survey using the same methodology, but also I added from system river data, and I can not only see and tell what I saw, but also compare results with 2 year ago results. I would like to remind you RIPE Atlas and RISA. And RIPE Atlas is a RIPE NCC main internet data collection system. It is called zones and probes, and anyone can anchors the probes and anchors. Anyone can get access to data via internet traffic maps, streaming data, visualization, which are installed in RIPE. So anyone can make measurements, and I use this opportunity, customized measurements, and you can join this system if it is interesting for you. And you can apply to representatives of RIPE NCC at this event. And I used trace route. It is one of the basic measurements, and it is the same trace route we have in our PC. We send the packages with increased field size in IPv4 and IPv6, and we analyze packages we get from interim routes, and we get a consistency of services, and the package go to the point of destination. And the implementation of a trace route is very advanced, and they keep CMP, DCP, and other protocols. And it has a Paris option, and it allows correctly to process a part of situation when it goes to one of these equivalent routes. And if we look on distribution of our probes in the region, we will see that in Central Asia there are 90 probes. In 2022, they had 29. In Kazakhstan, number was decreased, in Uzbekistan, but in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan increased. And in Kyrgyzstan, in Turkmenistan, we do not have additional probes, and so we add also but we cannot see the route of Turkmenistan, but we can see how the package go to Turkmenistan. And what is the RIPE? RIS, it is a system of passive measurements. It is a collection of all data, and we have collectors across the world, and they are linked by BGP protocol with different operators, and they get from them all events take place in internet. They get the whole flow of announcers of BGP, and then report them in the specific storage where they can pull them out and to see what happens. And again, to this system, you can also join. You can apply to RIPE NCC representatives who attend this event. What is the methodology we use? First of all, we take all probes in one country, and they are our sources. And then as a points of destination, we select all the probes in other countries of the region, And then we add this additional nodes in Turkmenistan. After that, we get consistency of all the nodes, the package between these points. And to each node, we add the country. Then we aggregate results and we get the chain of the countries and they have the package. And from the sending to destination points, and we can analyze how it is correlated with a risk system at the level of BGP. And what are uneven bias? It is 90 probes. It means that not every network prefix has an atlas probe, and even not each authorized system has its own atlas probe. Even we see some trace route several times repeated. We cannot say how much traffic, many traffics we have in this route and how it's important from the point of data delivery and how the cable is installed and the trace at the cable level. We do not also see the tunnels. And another important issue is the relationship of geographic location of intermediate route is always questionable. And I tried to make this interconnectivity accurate, but also we have room for mistakes, and we cannot find the same for the private addresses, in spite of the fact that Trace wrote Atlas implement the Paris, but there are also risk of the rules of different costs which will be incorrectly reflected. And so we have to remember that these routes could be unstable. Routes might be unstable going from A to B points, and even stable routes trends tend to change over time. And can we trust to results? And it is definitely not accurate quantitative picture, but the qualitative picture we can get, and particularly a clearness of the data refinement helps. And also when the not clear results taken away. And result, what we get, it is a basic assumption about interconnectivity in the region. And methodology is the same. And the changes of which we have between 2 years, 2022 and 2024, they are objective. And let's move to results, outcomes. Let's look at the countries in terms of dimension of the governance, and all results we put in order by alphabets to avoid any questions, starting from Kazakhstan. And this is the external connectivity looked in 2022. It was diverse, but the main transit country is the Russian Federation at the time. And now we see that it became more diverse and the number of external connections was increased. Russian Federation is the main transit country in terms of BGP, but at the same time, there are many plenty small European routes. And also we see that one a player was that it was Tata and now it became company from China. Before we observed such situation, and in 2 years it became more complex. And if we compare the picture we had before and now, diversification of the road was changed, and the main partner for transit country is Kazakhstan, Russia, in the second place in terms of dimension of governance and the routes of Tajikistan in 2022 they were not very diversified, and they mostly moved through Russian Federation. Now situation is strongly changed. Now they became more significantly, and they found a new actor, player Pakistan Telecom. It is super important that it is not new player, and Uzbek Telecom and Kazakh Helkat, they built their capacity and enhanced their role. And Turkmenistan had three external connections in 2022, and in 2024 there are more.
And as you can see, Tata is gone, now replaced by Uztelecom. Now finally Uzbekistan. You see the Uzbekistan's path to outside in 2022 and updated picture of 2024, increasing the number of local players crossing the border. Tata has left, Cogent's role decreased, Avant Telecoms from Russia roles increased, and significantly more external peers. Now let's look at the data plane and look at analysis of the trace routes. Start with Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. The picture looked very simple 2 years ago. You see some small tunnels like through Germany and through Russia. Now, the new picture shows stronger direct paths, direct routes due to diversity. There's still a lot of traffic tromboning. You see very weird looking loops. One of the operators in Kazakhstan sends all traffic to Russia and then back to Kazakhstan and then to Kyrgyzstan. So this is not an optimal path. I mean, in this case, the internal traffic is basically a hostage of external operators. And sometimes traffic goes to Hong Kong, then Europe, then Russia, and then to Kazakhstan, while on the way from Kyrgyzstan. So these are very non-optimal paths. Next pair, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan. The picture of 2022 looks very simple. The new updated picture is a lot more complicated. Most of the traffic goes through Kazakhstan primarily. We can also see many minor but less than optimal routes, like traffic going from Kazakhstan to Russia to Hong Kong to Germany, Great Britain, and then to Tajikistan. Very absurd. And traffic is also very asymmetric. Now, Kazakhstan to Turkmenistan is basically one way traffic only. the role of Uzbekistan has assumed the role of a transit country, which brings the traffic back into the region. Uzbekistan has displaced Russia and Azerbaijan as transit countries. There are many minor but suboptimal routes. So the role of Azerbaijan has decreased significantly. Now let's look at Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. The picture that we've seen a lot already. Most of the traffic goes through Russia, but some of the traffic goes through Hong Kong or even Sweden in a very suboptimal way. In an updated picture on route from Kazakhstan to Uzbekistan, Germany replaced Russia, but that doesn't help really. Now the number of direct interaction has increased, and just as previously, we see a notable share of highly suboptimal routes, such as Sweden, Hong Kong, and it's covering distance of around 8,000 kilometers. Totally absurd, both from geographic and technical points of view. Now, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, from a very simple picture 2 years ago with paths through Kazakhstan and Russia primarily. In a new and updated picture, the situation has changed a lot. The traffic from Tajikistan to Kyrgyzstan goes through Russia. Mostly, some part goes through Kazakhstan. We can also see that some part goes to Russia through Uzbekistan. So, I mean, there are obvious attempts to improve and localize the traffic, but most of the attempts are not successful. I mean, you can tell Kyrgyz operators make efforts on their side, but progress requires some more optimization. Then there's some role played by Pakistan. Pakistan mainly interacts with Tajikistan. Traffic may go from Tajikistan to Great Britain and Germany, but this leads to long and winding loops through Europe. Now, Kyrgyzstan to Turkmenistan, the picture of 2022 looks very simplistic. The traffic goes to Russia and at times through Germany, Italy, and Azerbaijan. As a result, the traffic from Kyrgyzstan to Turkmenistan goes through countries of Europe before it reaches the destination. Now, in a new updated situation, we can tell Kyrgyzstan clearly tries to diversify. The progress is substantial at times, but at some other times, traffic goes to like Germany as a replacement to Russia. Now, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan previously the biggest transit country was Russian Federation. And 2 years later, most of the traffic goes through Europe, which is less than optimal. The number of direct connections has even decreased. So it's the only pair of countries that shows regress compared with 2022. Now, Tajikistan and Turkmenistan, this is a very traditional picture that we've seen already before. In a newly and updated way, the traffic has been localized, but we see some transit through Uzbekistan. However, interestingly, traffic may go through Russia and then through Azerbaijan, which is not justified. Now, Tajikistan to Uzbekistan, most of the traffic used to go through Russia. And we see now that most of the traffic is exchanged directly, which shows a very responsible attitude of the operators. However, the remainder shows high traffic asymmetry. There's still a noticeable amount of suboptimal routes. Now, Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, the picture is very complicated. The picture of 2022 is already very complicated. You see some traffic going through Hong Kong, Azerbaijan, Germany, and Italy. Well, in 2024, the situation has very significantly improved. Most routes are now direct, and the number of suboptimal routes has declined dramatically. So you can see clearly efforts of operators made and the progress made in the past years. Now let's come to the conclusions that we come to based on the above. Indeed, 90 probes is okay, but the more, the better. I mean, accuracy and coverage can be improved if you join the right CC project. We see main player changes while Russia is no longer the major transit country in the region, replaced by Uzbekistan now, and Kazakhstan remains as the second largest transit country. And while we see Russia more noticeable on the control plane rather than on the data plane. The regional telecom industry is growing fast, most noticeably in Kyrgyzstan. A lot of progress is made in Uzbekistan too. Uzbekistan has assumed the role of the leading transit actor in across the region. The traffic between countries is growing more and more localized. Diversification of routes has become much better. All countries have increased the number of cross-border operators. Some new routes have emerged. primarily Pakistan, and I hope more examples will follow. Indeed, the number of suboptimal traffic transit routes remains very high, especially if we talk about smaller routes. Partly due to internal policies of internet providers, or partly due to so-called peering wars between larger operators. And global operators manipulate peering arrangements to put pressure on smaller operators. So some traffic is sacrificed in the war of large-scale operators. So in some situations, data traffic goes across the globe to reach neighboring country. So this is not only suboptimal, this is also very slow. And may lead to package reordering and lower service quality or poorer service quality. The list of operators such as Retin, Level 3, China Mobile, and Cogent has increased that carry local regional traffic in the Central Asia around the globe. And like we said, while Tata has left, the region still it's up to the local providers to improve, to make progress. I mean, there's certain progress, but there's still a lot of space for more progress. And this forum today has specifically been meant to bring together operators and improve on the situation at the local, country, and regional level. So if you are interested in more information, if you have proposals or discussions, we can continue. We can follow up on bilateral basis. We can use Google Meet or Zoom. I'm very open. Also, please send your questions about RIPE NCC or the RIPE community. You see the address. That's it. Thank you very much, and I really hope I will update this report 2 years later. And I'll be pleased to answer your questions. I mean, if you have questions later, please use my mail address.
Thank you very much.